a private company can decide that the public do not need to know what the president have to say. In fact, they have made the executive decision to silence the president of the United States.
I can't believe we're hearing the same thing out of every single one of these beards. Like, they're all saying the same tune now. It's shocking. I can't believe this. It's almost as if there's a private company, and this company has all the control, and all the control has gone into a company who doesn't have to be beholden to the people, and at the same time, they only have to be beholden to their shareholders, and so it's not really free speech, is it? It's not really a public forum. It's more of a private corporation under this capitalist system, some might say. It's quite confusing. Let's check in. Like, I haven't actually seen Sargon in a while. We've grown distant from each other, so I'm gonna see what Sargon has to say about all this.
So, this is pretty mad. I think it's all downhill from here.
Okay.
Yes, welcome to the last Sargon live stream, which is entirely possible. You should all be very aware of where your favorite content creators are on other platforms. This is definitely what I would recommend. And, definitely be aware. Yes. So.
I think he's getting his pacing from Caleb. What is with this? To start your show, dude.
On our end has been just green, numbers up in every way, which is fantastic. And by the way, thank you all for sticking with us, for being interested in what we have to say. And I hope we're doing work worthy of the time that you spend to view the things and the money that you send to us and things like this. But anyway, right, let's get to the point. The big news, obviously, being this. Now, I don't think that you can over-egg how bad a move this is. And I really think this is just crazy. It's worth remembering that all of these politicians, and I know this because I have met them, all of them. Well, not all of them, but I've met like different politicians in different countries, both Britain and America, and at different levels, right? And one of the things that you become very aware of is their perception is their world, right? If they don't see something, they don't think about it, and therefore they don't know about it, and they don't care about it. It doesn't spend any amount of time in the forefront of their mind. So it's not something they put any thought process in towards. And so you then realize that this
is Sargon Uncensored, by the way. He hasn't edited this clip down, so I guess we're going to get all the wonderful things. I don't really know if this is over egg yet, but we're about to find out.
And so it's going to be very, very interesting to see how things respond here, because it's hard to say that this is ban-worthy. I think Silicon Valley are being very, very trigger happy at this point. Just to be clear, Sidney Powell, Lynn Wood, and other MAGA supporters, I guess we'll call them, have all been suspended from Twitter. And this was the tweet that I think got Donald Trump suspended. The 75 million great American patriots who voted for me, America first, and make America great again, will have a giant voice long into the future. They will not be disrespected or treated unfairly in any way, shape, or form. That is enough to get Donald Trump, the President of the United States, suspended from Twitter.
No. It wasn't just like, oh, the one tweet. All right, well, this was the tweet that broke the camel's back. It was like he'd been doing this nonstop. It's basically like how many warnings you need. Over and over, it's like, hey, you're inciting violence. Hey, you just got enough people to believe your lies that they tried to stage a coup and an insurrection. So, yeah, if anything, Twitter did not take a stand until it was far too late.
I don't even know what the ramifications are going to be of this. And nobody does, right? Because this is going to hit Trump like a hammer blow. One thing that people who get suspended from social media platforms learn is how to deal with the psychological effect of not being able to access your own accounts. And of all the social media accounts Trump has...
Because it's happened to me a few times. I don't want to say on which platforms and whether or not Robin Hood has made an appearance or not, but I have had a personal experience. A friend of mine as well. A few friends. There's a lot of Robin Hoods out there.
His Twitter is clearly the only one he actually accesses personally and doesn't give access to anyone else, probably. Or at least if he does, it's, a very limited sphere of people. And so you get this is Donald Trump's personal megaphone to the world. And he clearly views it this way. And so this, to him, is going to be essentially like knives in the Senate was to Caesar. This is going to feel very painful. Very painful. And in Silicon Valley's view...
Except those knives, they also killed. They killed Caesar. That's how Caesar died. They weren't metaphorical knives, and they certainly weren't cutting out his tongue. I mean, that would have been a better metaphor. If you had been like the knives that cut his tongue out, then it would have been like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I suppose.
They think they're finishing him off. And I don't want to overstate this, but I really think that this is the power dynamic that's being played out and the attitude that's being played out. Because I don't think that saying that his supporters will not be disrespected or treated unfairly in any shape or form is something that would get a normal person banned. Like, if it wasn't Trump, and if it wasn't now, and if it wasn't in the context of January the 6th, then was it the 6th or the 7th? God, I can't even remember. This is how bad my memory is these days. Things are happening too quickly. This is, as this stream implies, a vulgar display of power. I don't think that he's not threatening violence.
I can't tell if he's more defeated, depressed, or in this case, choosing his words extremely carefully, like exceptionally carefully. Like he's like, oof, really got to watch what I say here. Because some of the things I've said before might have been a little bit incitey.
You can stand up for yourself without violence. You can argue your case without violence. And this is what Twitter is making sure that Trump can't do, is argue his case. And it's not just Twitter, of course. It is, of course, all of Silicon Valley. There is an article linked in the description if you'd like to read it, with lots and lots of absolutely excellent sources and information on lotuseaters.com. But we're not going to go through it all.
Shill.
If the First Amendment means anything, it means the best response to disfavored speech on public matters, or matters of public opinion, is more speech and not less. We beat Trump in court. How on earth can deplatforming the president be considered more speech and not less? Right? It can't. So this, it may not even be legal for them to deplatform Trump. Right? It might not even be legal. Who knows what will happen?
It's totally legal. It's totally legal because what you do when you sign up to Twitter is you sign a terms of service agreement, and then you legally say that you agree to their terms of service. Once you've done that, yes, legally, they can remove you from their website that they own as a private corporation. That's how that works. So, yeah.
Maybe Trump will start a lawsuit and see if this is something they can do. Because if his account is actually a public space, and Twitter is a privately controlled public space, which exist. These are already existing legal entities. There may well be things they can and can't do. And this might be one of them. So I don't know what's going to happen there. And obviously I don't think anyone can tell you what's going to happen there. Maybe some people know more on that than I do.
I will give him this. He's gone longer than I thought without saying the words George Orwell or 1984. Like 9 minutes into this, he still hasn't mentioned either. I know we've skipped ahead a bit.
But the thing I'm worried about is the principle that underlies the thing, and that is the fact that a private company can decide that the public do not need to know what the president have to say. In fact, they have made the executive decision to silence the president of the United States.
I can't believe we're hearing the same thing out of every single one of these beards. Like, they're all saying the same tune now. It's shocking. I can't believe this. It's almost as if there's a private company, and this company has all the control, and all the control has gone into a company who doesn't have to be beholden to the people, and at the same time they only have to be beholden to their shareholders. And so it's not really free speech, is it? It's not really a public forum. It's more of a private corporation under this capitalist system, some might say. It's quite confusing.
The leader of the free world has been silenced by Silicon Valley, all of it. Like, he's gone. Even his Snapchat is gone. He's off Twitch. He is off. His merch stores were deplatformed. Everything. And a bunch of his supporters. Right? Brandon Straka for the Walk Away campaign. Like, the idea that the Walk Away campaign is dangerous is pretty wild to me. I had considered this to be totally milquetoast, centrist, fence-sitting almost republic.
Okay. Walkaway Foundation is pushing back on the radical left. We will no longer tolerate the destruction of property and lives, the villainous law enforcement, and weaponization of tragedies. Our silence has been our consent. It is time for the silent majority to become unsilent. We are fighting back, and we invite you to join us. Walkaway is holding national peaceful protest rallies across the country to show the radical left that do not own America's streets, and that our country is filled with kind, loving, big-hearted Americans of every race, religion, background, and creed, and we will not surrender our country to violence. Walkaway presents Rescue America Rally, Baltimore. Speakers include Walkaway founder Brandon Straka, Free and Fair Election founder Tim Fazenbaker, singer and songwriter Joy Villa, writer-commentator Mike Harlan. Please register and donate. Obama's knowledge about Benghazi, China's plot exposed. Mark Levin, this is a constitutional crisis. Interesting, Sargon. Oh, by the way, centrists. Centrists. The centrists, all of them. Yeah, sorry.
Like, the most just vanilla of conservatives. Just nothing, just nothing offensive came out of the walkaway movement I ever saw. And obviously I followed it for years, because I was interested to see how it did. Because what it is people saying, look, the Democratic Party is crazy and I don't want to be a part of that. And so a lot of them ended up voting for Trump because Trump really wasn't as bad as everyone is making out. But what is being done to him right now is crazy. Like, Trump had put a video out saying to his supporters on the day of the storming of the Capitol, go home in peace and love. Right? Go home. And he had put out tweets saying, stop this, go home.
He said, we love you. We love you. To the terrorists. They're terrorists, Sargon. So he said, we love you. To those doing the insurrection. He called them special. Like, what the fuck?
And this is amazing. His decision to use his platform to condone rather than condemn the actions of his supporters at the Capitol building has rightly disturbed people in the US and around the world. That's the opposite of what happened. Trump condemned them. They got...
No, he didn't. Not in the video you're talking about. You're talking about the one that happened the day after. The one that he was told, I'm sure to say. But the one that this message is referring to, that's the one where he's like, you're very special. We love you. Go home. You're very special. Go in peace. Didn't condemn them at all. At all. Lying. Absolutely lying to your teeth here.
Trump said, no violence. We are the party of law and order. He condemned the violence. He told...
Wow. You're steel manning the guy who was defending the terrorists. What are you doing? And you're inventing words he didn't say at that time. Like, that's not what this doesn't mean the same thing.
People to stop it and go home. These are his words. These aren't someone else's words. And yet Mark Zuckerberg has just said the opposite. And that's it. Trump has gone from I think it is the biggest social media platform ever, which was one of the first to ban him. But the most important one is actually Twitter. And Twitter is the most important one for a few reasons. But the most prominent one is that people can actually talk to each other properly on here. You have a response feed from people who are, from verified checkmarks and normies if you're a verified account. But you've got a response feed so you can see what people have said to you in response to the things you said. It's difficult to do that on Facebook. It's difficult to do that on the other platforms. But Trump is apparently, where are we? How does Sean Hannity thing? Is it this one? Yeah. So apparently Sean Hannity has said that Trump has joined Parler at the official POTUS.
What? Actually? Oh, Parler. Oh, Parler. Okay, one sec.
Which is a very interesting Parler name. Not at real Donald Trump, which is very, very interesting. Take notes. But the point is, when it comes to dealing with things, the problem with Twitter is that Twitter has created a kind of giant political club. And it used to be in 2016, 2015, that almost anyone could get into this club if you were part of an institution. Everyone started getting verified, except for the YouTubers. But then you had Milo being de-verified. And then you had a bunch of people being banned, but they're all conservatives. But they were all quite firebrands, so it didn't matter. And now it's absolutely everyone who could be in the crosshairs, including and up to the president. So, I mean, just if these are the official places of public dialogue, these are the official public squares.
I haven't seen it yet, unless he's got an account. Like, I'm trying to find it. I know Parler is getting surged with traffic right now. It has nothing to do with it being a really shitty website. It's just right now. It's still Donald Trump teen, Donald Trump for president, Donald Trump is my president, Donald Trump Jr. I don't think he's officially on yet. I mean, he's got a very limited amount of time. You've got basically until like, it's like Cinderella. It's until midnight tonight.
The left, they're doing this on purpose. Like this is a media collage that was going around. It's nice to be able to get back on my Parler now. So when Twitter was there, I was like, right, I'm going to tell everyone on Parler, and it's like Parler's down. Shit, you know. And in fact, it still seems to be like, again, undoubted.
It's strange. It's almost like this website is always down. I don't know why. It's not because it's poorly made by Nazis.
But I think if Donald Trump joins your platform, then you don't actually need the Apple App Store to make sure that people are aware of you as. And this is terrifying. I mean, this is just like, what are you doing? They want complete.
He's so low energy now. I don't know. Is this depression, defeat? I'm not entirely sure. This is the last gasps of Parler, I suppose.
Control of information and complete control of discourse.
This is your mind on Lotus.
And that can't be allowed. They can't be allowed to bully the president of the United States off the internet. That is insane. That is just such an insane thing to do. And so, right, okay. Like, don't think this won't have consequences. Again, not me saying I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting at home, like chilling out. And I don't want any of you to do anything, right? I just want us to look at this dispassionately and think, right, does it end here? Does it end here? Or does this further incite? And I'm worried that this further incites, and I really wish I could get my Parler up at the moment so I can show you things that I have posted, like the collage of the media just constantly defending violence. They've been doing it for years. The media.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sargon. I've lost all interest in you. You've been boring at the best of times in this special. And yeah, I think the entire thing is just one giant lesson, obviously, in capitalism. Unfortunately, it's strange when the public forum is not actually owned by the public. When it's owned by private corporations, it's the worst.
What lies around the corner? Never knowing who's going to kill you. Are you the next one to be murked? You never know if it's a friend or a foe. If you want to see the biggest names in BreadTube and Left Twitch and Butterthing and I don't know the fucking names anymore, come see Left Among Us.
If you want us to advertise your channel or work, please go to weareserfs.com and email us a 20 to 30 second ad, and we'll take it on to the end of one of our videos to help promote your leftist channel or progressive something. Whatever you do.
To our God, I'm Rast, Xander Corvus, and Schlatsky, we shall commit blood sacrifices in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, our lives are yours to command. To our lords, Jeffrey Lamb, Trevor R., Stephen, Hans Josephine, Poppy Nelson, Ryan Lubin, Jimothy K. Meeblebeeps Jr., we bow meekly for your pleasure. To our knights of the round table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Bythe, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Political Puppy, Jimmy Bignuts, Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hates Cops, That's Solid Poon Then, Dr. Zayas, Yoppy, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Jack Darko, Thomas Barretton, J. Fraser Cartwright, Goofalankius, Melissa Murphy, Nicholas Marks, Alexander Thaler, Ali Rada Jaffer, Alex Gauvin, Radical Maniac, we salute you.